Megan from Vigilante Vibes, and I'm coming to you with another character breakdown that I think is very important at this moment in time because of the Ironheart finale that came out late last night. So, I think a lot of people are asking, who is Zelma Stanton? By now, you've watched Ironheart in its entirety, unless you haven't, which is a choice, because you definitely should. Meaning, you've met the lovely Zelma. The questions on everyone's mind is, who is she? Well, I'm going to tell you mostly everything about her. In the comics, Zelma Stanton first appeared in 2015's Doctor Strange #1 and was created by writer Jason Aaron and artist Chris Bachalo. Zelma Stanton is just living her regular life as librarian in the Bronx when everything changes. She comes down with a strange magical illness. The illness is mind maggots that left a weird growth on her head, which is really gross. After what she initially believed to be a rash, it grew teeth, it grew eyes, and Zelma tried to go to the hospital, but she freaked out the staff, which is very understandable. Looking for help, she was recommended to try none other than Doctor Strange by a friend. When Zelma first visits Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, he realized he'd never seen anything quite like what was going on with her. He tried to cast a spell to get rid of whatever it was that was sticking out of her head, but instead, a swarm of creepy mind maggots came crawling out, which makes me a little uncomfortable because I do not like bugs at all. The maggots scattered all over the mansion, and Strange had Zelma help him track them down. But after they got into the library, they got separated. Zelma ended up wandering to the kitchen where she ran into Wong, Strange's housekeeper. Wong helped her find her way back to the library, where Strange was deep in research trying to figure out what the creatures were. He confirmed they were mind maggots, and they were magically connected to Zelma. To lure them out, he asked her to yell out her deepest, most personal secrets, which is so awkward. She does so, admitting she cheated on her driver's exam and that she doesn't know what to do at a four-way stop. I mean, you're a problem on the road, because you know what, I'm not even going to go down that road. Not even go down that road. But it wasn't enough. Wong encourages her to share her deepest, darkest secret. She yells about how she claims to be a vegetarian just to avoid her mother's meatloaf, but she eats burgers twice a week and that she voted for J. Jonah Jameson for mayor. Strange absorbs them, curing Zelma, and offers her a job as the Sanctorum's librarian, which she accepts. Later on, after a group called the Empirical launched a major attack on magic, which also destroyed Strange's library, Zelma helped him rebuild his collection and kept track of which spells still worked. Where she once had to use special gloves to handle books that smoked, fizzed, crackled with magical energy, Zelma now sorted through a vast library of ancient spells that no longer worked and kept record of new spells that did. This is in Doctor Strange #11, I believe. As she rebuilt Strange's mystical library page by page, Zelma developed a formidable awareness of the magic that still functioned across the Marvel Universe. Through her meticulous bookkeeping, Zelma functionally became the author of all things magic in the Marvel Universe. Although she was new to magic, Zelma had enough knowledge to help Strange face threats like Baron Mordo, who we all know. At one point, during a mission to retrieve one of the last remaining magical items, Strange and Zelma got stuck in a place called Weird World, Battle World. To make things worse, Strange was hit with a poisoned arrow and got super sick. While they were trapped there, Zelma took care of him, scavenging for food and supplies. When their enemies eventually found them, Zelma used a spell she had written down to take Strange's illness into herself to save him. Thanks to the magic she had absorbed from some of the creatures she'd eaten in Weird World, which is gross, it's fine, she did not die. When they made it back home, Strange had to feed her some of his magical food to cure her, which changed her body and made her more attuned to magic. Even after all this, even after Strange warned her about how dangerous this world could be, Zelma decided she did not want to go back to her normal life. Instead, she chose to become his apprentice. During one of Loki's more trying to be the hero phases, he decided to teach Doctor Doom a lesson by stealing the Sorcerer Supreme title, moving into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and even getting a little too close to Zelma. But Strange had a backup plan. He secretly hid a powerful spell called the Exile of Sing Sun inside Zelma to keep Loki from soaking up all the magic in the world. Powered up with Asgardian magic, Strange eventually confronted Loki and things started to get intense. Zelma had to step in and stop the chaos. She used the Sands of Nishanti to depower both of them for about 3 minutes. Unfortunately, that was not enough because it's like 3 minutes. Strange got possessed by the void and the fight kept going. Loki ended up saving the day by literally ripping the spell out of Zelma's soul to stop the void. Later on, in Doctor Strange number 11, Dormammu, who's one of Strange's biggest and oldest enemies, came back strong. After taking over the Faltine dimension, he launched an attack on Earth with a few other flame-headed Faltinians. While Strange handled Dormammu, as he sometimes does, Zelma teamed up with Wong and the alien magician Kana to take on the rest. Thanks to some ancient magical wisdom shared by the Ancient One and her own research, Zelma managed to take down the Faltine with a single well-placed energy blast. Afterward, the group helped Strange finish off Dormammu. The Ancient One was so impressed with Zelma's skills that he asked her to build a new library of magical knowledge just for him. Zelma later teamed up with Doctor Strange to launch a new project, Strange Academy, a magic school in New Orleans where young sorcerers could learn the mystical arts. She took on the role as the school's librarian and even helped scout new students like Emily Bright. Even though Selma was still pretty new to the whole magical thing, Doctor Strange still brought her on board to help teach the next generation of young sorcerers, which is all at the Strange Academy. She joined a staff of veteran magic users like Dr. Voodoo and Magic, guiding students like Zoe Laveau, Doyle Dormammu, who is exactly who you think he is. Whatever in your mind, when you hear Doyle Dormammu, that's who it is. At the school's main campus in New Orleans, Zelma wore a lot of hats. She helped bring students in. She worked at the school's library, and in Strange Academy number 1, she was already teaching classes. Her lessons covered wild stuff like interdimensional geography and magical anatomy, basically giving kids the rundown on thousands of magical creatures and species. While some of the other teachers had side gigs or outside missions, Zelma stuck around and became one of the most reliable and steady figures at the Academy. Things took a turn when Victor Von Doom took over as Sorcerer Supreme, which is in the current One World Under Doom event. If you have not checked it out, I've said it a million times, check it out. A bunch of the staff and students, including Zelma, were moved into Doom's version of the school, Doom Academy, located in Latveria. Zelma wasn't exactly thrilled about working under a dictator, but she did appreciate the perks, especially the massive, well-stocked library, and that's where she is today. So, as usual, I have some comics for you to check out to get to know the wonderful Zelma even better. Doctor Strange number 1, Doctor Strange Volume 4 in its entirety, Strange Academy Volume 1, Death of Doctor Strange numbers 1 and 2, and Doom Academy Volume 1. So that is Zelma. That is who the character we saw in Ironheart. That's who she's based on. And I need to see so much more of her because I love the actress they picked. I loved how well she did in the show. She was phenomenal. So I really don't have anything else to say about Zelma. Oh, they do need to make a Strange Academy series because let's be honest, that little reference she made last night in the show when she said the baby witches of TikTok. Come on, like you could make something out of that for Strange Academy. Like there's something there. But that's just my opinion. So, I hope you enjoyed this character breakdown. I hope you enjoyed the show and keep an eye out because by the time this is dropped, I will have already dropped my Ironheart review. It's a big day for me, I guess. So, I hope you enjoyed all. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a marvelous day.